Alright, this video is just a very simple and short, not terribly exciting video intended to address one of the most common misconceptions about our little downwind cart. It's a cart that will go downwind faster than the wind, powered only by the wind, and it really is almost nothing but a set of wheels on an axle, prop shaft, and a prop, geared together by a 1-to-1 90-degree bevel gear set. The conception, or the misconception, is that the wind turns this propeller like a windmill or a turbine, and that turns the wheels, and that pulls the cart forward. The reality is that the wheels provide the torque through the axle, and therefore through the prop shaft that turns the prop. What I'm going to do is put it in front of a fan and show that with the fan turned on, the prop is going to turn counterclockwise when viewed from the back. When I put it on the surface, we're going to see that the prop turns the other way, and that's because the wheels turn the prop. So turning the fan on, hopefully we can see this streamer here, showing that the fan is blowing in the forward direction. And if I put this cart in front of it, we see that the prop starts turning counterclockwise. I'll stop that and start it again. So looking from behind, prop turns counterclockwise. Now, if I place it on the surface, I'll show you that it's kinematically constrained to turn the opposite direction. When I push the cart forward, the prop turns clockwise from behind. And that's the way that the cart operates. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add an addendum to this video by request. There's a number of items people wanted to see specifically. The first is to get a good close-up look at the cart. There's a question as to whether there's any batteries or motors or any other propulsion device. So, you know, we've got a prop back here. We've got the prop shaft. Passes through a little HDPE plastic block. Got this aluminum tubing frame, just a piece of aluminum tubing from the plumbing section at Orchard Hardware. Again, a plastic block holding that to this the front block. The front block has these two bevel gears in it, and it's got two bearings in here. I guess if I were really clever, I could get a motor and batteries in that Delrin block. So you could decide for yourself if I did that. And then I've got a carbon shaft here that goes through the Delrin block and a bearing on either side of that. A couple of lightweight wheels from like an electric airplane. So that's kind of that's it for the cart. There's nothing hidden, unless you feel like I've hidden something cleverly, but that's what it is. I'm going to make this video uncut so that there's, you know, people have questions as to whether maybe I've modified it at any time, you know, between cuts and so forth, and this will make a hateful video, but not cut. So now I want to see the treadmill is level, and hopefully the shot will be okay. So here's our level. People have said maybe the level is frozen so that the bubble can't move, but there you go. Hopefully you can see that bubble is not frozen in there and the treadmill is level. We're going to go ahead and put this back on the chair. Hopefully get it lined up again. I think that's good enough. Now holding the cart in front of the fan. Turn our fan on. The fan is blowing toward the treadmill. Hopefully we can see this streamer here on the fan. And when I hold it in front of the fan, my prop starts to go counterclockwise. I'll do that a few times. Turns counterclockwise. I'm going to do it in different places. Do it here near the edge. Just getting enough wind to do it. Do it right in the center. Again, do it down near the bottom, counterclockwise. Do it up near the top, same thing. I'll turn it so that it's at some angle to the fan. Still turns counterclockwise. Turn it at the opposite angle. Still counterclockwise. And now let's see if I can do this by putting a little drag on the shaft with my finger. I'm going to try to put enough drag to slow that prop down. So there we go. Got it pretty good drag on there. And it still wants to go counterclockwise. Finally, I'm going to turn the prop by hand clockwise from the fan's perspective and see if it continues that way. And it does not. It turns itself back to counterclockwise. So each time I do that, I force it clockwise, fan turns it around again. Force it clockwise, and the fan turns it around again. Now if I have it facing the fan, I don't know if I'm going to get enough air over it at that distance, but I'll try. And again, we'll see that it will go counterclockwise if it works. And sure enough, it does work, but at that distance, just barely. It's not a lot of wind at that point. But from the point of view of the fan, it's going to be counterclockwise when it's free spinning. So we do that. We're going to set the cart on the treadmill and see a self-start. Let's pull the fan up closer to the treadmill. Now, there we go. We'll let self-start. Maybe not convincing enough, so I'll do this. And it self-starts. The treadmill is still level. Self-starts. Now, this may be a little doubtful, but if I turn the cart around, if I have enough wind at the distance of the prop, it should still go away from the fan, and it should still self-start. Looks like we do have enough wind to do that. So I'll do that again, and I'll just hold it here. Now let go. It will go away from the fan and self-start. Let's see what else we have. I forgot to show that I'm not pulling it in any way with a thread, so we're going to come around this frame a couple of times. And now hopefully it's clear that I don't have some thread or something pulling it. And again, it'll self-start a couple more times. And again, this way. And you know, I'll turn the fan off to show that the treadmill is not leaning or anything like this. It's not gonna move on its own. Just sits there. And again, you know, it'll just sit there like this. I guess the last thing is, let's go back and look at the level again. And here we go. So hopefully we can see that bubble, and then it's still level. So I look forward to the various explanations of how I've hoaxed this thing. But that's the uncut and exceptionally boring video that was requested.